What is good on my creation RNs? Where are my nurses at? I know you're here because you're watching this video. So I want to have a discussion regarding compression socks and the reasons why you should wear them. Stay tuned. So for any of us who work very long shifts, we know how it feels to be on our feet for 8 to 12 hours a day, coming home, ripping your clothes off, getting in the bath, soaking your feet, and just being miserable from the soreness and the pain that comes with standing on your feet all day. Now, when I was in nursing school, compression stockings or socks were only discussed when patients were involved. So if a patient had surgery where they were going to be immobile for a while, they had the compression stockings. Or if they were going to be bedbound for a period of time, they always wore the socks and the stockings. Nobody ever discussed with me as a nurse that I could wear compression socks. I think that should be taught in school, people. That's all I'm saying. So I want to have this discussion because if it helps any nurses out there that are in nursing school that are going to be doing those 10, 12-hour shifts for their clinicals, or even nurses that have been nurses for a long time and don't know about the quality and benefits of compression socks, I want to talk to y'all and I want to get this out there. So really, how do compression socks work? So the compression of the actual socks themselves actually help with the gravitational pull of the blood back up into the heart. So without wearing compression stockings, what happens? The blood kind of just like pools in your veins and your legs, and it moves, but it just does not move as quickly as it would, say, with compression stockings. The compression stockings actually squeeze the legs and the veins and the walls of your legs and moves the blood back up, and it actually helps release that lymphatic fluid, so that way you don't have that swelling and that edema in your lower extremities. If you know, and I'm sure you have, you come home and your ankles and your feet are swollen, these are going to be a complete life changer. Trust me. So really, what are the benefits of wearing compression socks? Yes, I know they hug basically your entire leg from your knee down, but there are benefits. The first benefit is it protects your legs and your feet from scratches, abrasions, microbes. If you have the correct socks, some of them are antimicrobial properties. So, I mean, it really does help. If you're like me, I have bumped my leg into so many beds, I have lost count. And these actually have protected me. It decreases the amount of bruising that I ever see, as well as I rarely have scratches on my legs anymore. So that in and of itself to me is a huge, huge blessing. Like I said before, compression socks actually reduce the swelling in your legs. The swelling in and of itself can be one of the most uncomfortable things in the world. Regardless of the shoes you wear, if you wear regular socks and when you take your shoes off, your feet and your legs are going to be noticeably more swollen because of the work that we do. We're constantly pushing, pulling, lifting. We're doing everything with these patients, and unfortunately our body takes a toll, and the first thing that takes a toll the most is our feet and our legs. So take care of your legs. So compression socks can actually create warmth and alleviate soreness. So with having those compression socks constantly squeezing against your legs and moving that lymphatic fluid up your legs, it actually alleviates a lot of that soreness set and that edema that it creates without wearing compression stockings. And the warmth in and of itself, when you take those socks off after a long day, it feels absolutely amazing. Amazing. So one of the big things that I think affects everyone is our appearance. We as nurses, take care of the way that we look. We take care of our bodies. We're overall pretty much healthy. So one of the things that happens when you don't wear compression stockings is you can develop varicose veins as well as spider veins. If you have ever seen varicose veins and spider veins, they will make you run for the hills. It is a horrible blue discoloration map on the bottom of your legs that look I have no words for it. They just look horrible. So do yourself a favor, wear the compression stockings, because again, with having varicose veins and having those spider veins, you run the risk of developing clots in your legs that as nurses what clots can do to your body. Don't run the risk, wear the compression stockings. And really my last benefit is that compression stockings kick dress code's butt. Really what I'm saying is that any world of uniformity that we are currently in the healthcare field, we all have to dress and look alike. So the only thing that we can actually change that nobody can see or that we can show off when we want to is our socks. I'm talking about get your hot pinks, get your neon greens, get your heart patterns, get your stripes. have fun and be creative with it. It's really the only thing that we can do to express our uniqueness within the nursing field. So when you're looking for socks, what is it that you're really looking for? Because all compression socks are not the same. So the one thing you want to look for is, what is these socks millimeters of mercury? So what does that mean is, how tight is the socks? I believe that they come as less as 10 and they go all the way up to more than 40. 40 and above, or I should say 30 and above, is more of a medical grade compression stocking that you see in your patients in the hospital. And we as nurses don't really need that. We are moving around. We just need a little bit of, some squeeze. So what I mean is, you want to have socks that are between 20 to 30 millimeters of mercury. They have a firm compression, but they're not too tight where they're going to cut off circulation to your legs. Another thing is, you want to find socks that don't fold down your legs or just fall off. That means that they're either too loose or they're too tight. So you don't want to have either or, because they're not beneficial to you if you choose a sock that has those qualities. And the last thing is you want to choose the material. There is so many different kinds of material, but the material that you want to look for is going to provide you adequate warmth. They're going to be flexible. They're going to give you good compression. They're going to have those antimicrobial properties that we talked about before. And there's so many other benefits. Really do your research on the socks. I know they can be expensive. Compression socks are expensive, but let me tell you, it will save you a lot of money in medical bills later on down the road if you by chance develop a DVT or those spider veins or those varicose veins. Trust me, you don't want that. So spend the $30, $40, $50 on those socks. Keep them in good condition, take very good care of them, and they're going to last you a good amount of time. Now, unfortunately, as great as compression socks are, they are not for everybody. I always recommend that you actually speak with your physician before trying to use compression stockings, because there are certain groups and demographics that should not be wearing them. When I say groups and demographics, what I mean is people that have peripheral neuropathy comes to mind. They can't feel their legs. They don't know if those socks are too tight. So you really don't want to be wearing them. You really want to actually just consult your physician and ask what are the best socks, particularly for that demographic. History of peripheral artery bypass grafting, peripheral artery disease if you have that, skin infections. With skin infections, you don't want to have too tight of socks, because unfortunately warmth and moisture can actually create more infection growth. So you don't want to have that. That's a no-no. Massive lower edema, if your legs are just extremely swollen, I mean, you're probably not a good candidate for that. Or, pulmonary edema with a congestive heart failure. Those are just some of the things that I recommend that you actually speak with a physician, but in general, just talk to your physician and have a general conversation on what's best for you. I absolutely love compression socks. I recommend them for everybody. They have absolutely saved my life. My legs feel absolutely better every single time I wear them to a shift. When I come home, my legs are not as fatigued. I don't have as much swelling as I used to have. They're just better overall. So make sure you follow me on my social medias. I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as my blog, which is creationrn.com. Leave me a message, send me a DM. I love answering your questions, but until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.